Leadership is not reserved for CEOs, politicians, or people with fancy job titles. Leadership is not reserved for tall white men who speak English. You don't need a podium or a boardroom to be a leader, and the world needs everyday people now, like you and me. The world needs everyday people like you and me with integrity, courage, and strength to be the examples, not just to plan events or to keep the peace. If you've ever felt like you didn't fit into an insane world, it's probably because you're here to change it. You're more than helpful. You're not a party planner, you're a leader, and you need to be able to lead without permission. Old paradigm leadership meant being in charge of a company, being in charge of a team or a project. But here's the thing, people who weren't CEOs, weren't managing people, and aren't the boss's son, were somehow solving problems, stepping up, and keeping things running smoothly. If this was you, you weren't just helping out, you were leading. If anyone's ever said to you, we'd be lost without you, then you haven't just been organising things. You've been setting the standard. You've been showing others how it's done. And the best part, you didn't need anyone's permission to do it. If you've ever felt like you're the glue holding things together, like you see the bigger picture while others are stuck in the chaos, you're not just a support person, you're the leader. Most people don't step into leadership because they believe one of three myths. They might believe I'm not important enough. Leadership is not, it's for important people who wear suits. Or they might believe I don't have a title. But leadership it's not a position, it's an action. Or they might believe I don't want to be bossy, but you don't need to be bossy. People don't want you to be bossy. Leadership isn't about control, it's about setting the example. And let's be real. When you don't conform to the madness of the world, some people will try and make you feel like you're the crazy one. If you've ever been the one who asks, why are we doing it this way? Or refuses to go along with nonsense, you've probably been labelled as difficult or too much. But guess what? This is a sign that you're thinking for yourself, and that's exactly what leaders do. So how do you lead without permission? How do you lead without a title? How do you lead if you're another height, another gender, another race, another age, or whatever else? You own your own influence. Whether you realise it or not, people watch what you do more than what they listen to what you say. If you stay calm under pressure, they'll follow your energy. If you stand up for what's right, they'll rethink their own actions. If you set boundaries, they have the opportunity to learn to set their own. So start noticing where people already look to you for guidance, at work, in your family, and in your community, because that's your leadership zone. Lead by example, not permission. You don't need approval to be a leader. You don't need a title. You just need to be the example. So show up, keep your word, speak with integrity, treat people with respect, even when they don't deserve it. Make the tough decisions that no one else wants to make. And think, speak, and behave like the leader that you wish that you had had. Stop explaining yourself. Not everyone will understand you. Some will even resent you for not playing small. Do your own thing anyway. Stop justifying your choices to people who don't get it. Stop Stop justifying your choices to people who have an agenda to not get it. Stop apologising for taking up space. Stop trying to fit into places that shrink you. If someone tries to pull you into their drama or doubt, remind yourself that you're not here to fit in. You're here to lead. Inspire hope wherever and whenever you can. Not fitting in probably means that you're doing something right. The world doesn't need more passive followers, more passive observers, or more passive people pleasers who just plan events and avoid conflicts. The world needs real leaders. The world needs real people who stand for something, who speak the truth and lead by example. And that's you. Where in your life do people already rely on you? What's one way you can set a better example starting today? What's one situation where you need to stop explaining yourself and just lead? As a petite female in a male-dominated industry, I was the state convener for the Australian Spinal Research Foundation when I was 35 years old. I had to speak in auditoriums filled with even more men who were more often than not older, taller, and much louder than me. But I was the one focused on raising money for spinal research. I was the one who was prepared to donate my time for a cause, where many others wanted to be paid and applauded for everything they did. And I was the one who had the confidence in my audience. I had confidence that they were good people with kind hearts and deep pockets. Just like I have confidence that you're a good person, that you have a kind heart. And I'm extra confident that you have an expertise that somebody else needs. For the next 24 hours, behave as if you're already the leader in your space. And I don't mean act as if. I don't mean be an aggrandized fake. People can sniff a fake at 40 paces. We've all had enough of self-aggrandized fakes. I mean, embrace and embody your inner leader. Don't pretend to be that person. Actually be that person. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, do all the things, and share this with someone who needs to step into their leadership power too. You're not here to keep the peace. You're not here to fit in. You are here to lead, and the world is watching. The world is waiting. The world is waiting for you and your brand of expertise.